Tzarayim Tov, good afternoon everyone. My name is Rabbi Kim Ettlinger and I have the great privilege once again of officiating for Annie as we continue a time of memory, a time of memorial. Our service this afternoon is a mincha service, so it's a little bit different from a traditional Ma'ariv evening service. We'll go from Ashrei into a silent Amidah. We'll come out, share some words of memory into our Yizkor prayers, and then Aleinu and Kaddish. If you want to follow along in the service, there are some Sidurim, the small blue pamphlet type books, and they're at the back there, and there's some in the foyer. There'll be parts of the service that will be in English. Most of it will be in Hebrew. We are live streaming this service at the moment, so if you do, and it will continue for a little bit after the service until we're able to switch it off. So if you don't want to be on camera, I ask you just to avoid being in this area. There are some people who don't like to be on camera. At the moment, it'll be pretty much from where Jen is, just the top of your head. Raise your hand, Jen. So just a couple of logistics. One of the things that struck me about hearing about Annie is how much change she would have seen in the 101.5 years of her life. Going through different wars, going through the ups and downs of the Australian economy, seeing changes that we take so much for granted. But what for me was the most important thing, Warren and Merle, that you shared with me was the legacy that she left of your families, and Rosalind, if you're live streaming, your families, grandchildren, great-grandchildren. And if anything was most important to Annie, it was family. She did whatever she could to bring family together, writing letters, making connections. And if we walk away with one thing, let it be the importance of family. I don't really need to mention some of the other things she loved to do, like playing bowls. And of course, what was her favorite thing that you loved so much, Warren, was her fruitcake. Some say fruitcake, some say scones. But when you think about the things that she did, the things that she tried so hard to achieve, and she did in her own successes with the dress shop, she was totally devoted to Sam, her husband, being with him through everything that was ups and downs in the business world, and then coming out on top. Their love for each other was so deep and so true. Many of us could only imagine having a relationship and a love that long. And in her retirement, in their retirement, going back to things that she loved. And I say going back because she grew up at the beach and then would go to Broad Beach up north. When we think about Annie, let's think about what made her happy, and that was her family. And it's her memory that continues to live on. And so let us begin on page 50, and we will jump around a little bit in the prayer book as we continue with Ashrei, Psalm 145. Now, my friends, I do warn you, I am a rabbi. I'm not a chazan. I can't really sing. Ashrei yoshvei beitecha, od helu chasela, Ashrei am shekacha lo, Ashrei ha'am sh'Adonai Elohav, tehila leDavid, aramimcha Elohai hamelech, bavracha shimcha leolam va'ed, b'chol yom avachecha, v'yahla shimcha leolam va'ed, gadol Adonai u'halal ma'od, v'ligdulato in cheker, dor ledor yishbach ma'asecha, ugvuratecha yagidu, hadar kavod hodecha, v'divrei neflotecha asicha, ve'zus noratecha yomeru, ugdulatecha asaprena, zechirav tuvcha yabiu, v'tzidkatecha yoranenu, chanun v'rachum Adonai, erech apayim ugdal chesed, Tov Adonai lakol, v'rachamav al kol ma'asav. Yoduch Adonai kol ma'asecha, v'chasidecha yivarachucha. Kavod malchutecha yomeru, ugvuratecha yedaberu. Lehodia livnei adam gevurotav, ufod hadal malchuto. Malchutecha malchut kol olamim, umemshaltecha b'chol dor v'dor. Zomech Adonai lechol hanoflim, v'zokef lechol hakfufim. Einei chol elecha yisaberu, v'ata noten lahem et ochlam be'ito. Poteach et yadecha, u'masbir lechol charatzon. Tzadik Adonai b'chol derachav, chasid b'chol ma'asav. Karov Adonai lechol korav, lechol asher yikrauhu be'emet. Retzon yireyav yaseh, v'et shevatam yishma v'yoshiyim. Shomer Adonai kol ohavav, v'erkol asherim yashmid. Tehilat Adonai yeder piv, v'yavarech kol basar shem kodsho le'olam va'ed. V'anachnu nevarech ya, me'ata v'ad olam. Hallelujah. Let's rise for the Chatzi Kaddish on page 54. Yitkadal v'yitkadash merabah, v'yamad ivrach yirteh v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, bagala bagala uvizman kariv v'yimeru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevorach, le'olam lo me'omaya. Yitzbarach, Yitzbarach, v'yishtabach, v'yipar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar, v'yitaleh, v'yitalal, shemed ha'kodesh ha'brechu, le'elam min kol berchata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma, v'yimeru. I think you can all join the Kansas choir. Let us turn back to page 23 as we continue with the Amidah. Adonai sefatai siftahu fi yagi tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim v'Konei Hakol, v'Zocher Chastei Avot v'Imahot, U'Mevi Gula Livnei V'neihem, L'man Shemo B'Yahava, Melech Ozer Moshio Magen Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham v'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor L'Olam Adonai, Mechayei Metim Atarav L'Hoshia, Mashiv HaRuach U'Morid HaGeshem, Mazriach HaShemesh U'Morid HaTal, Mechalkel Chayim B'Chesed, Mechayei Metim B'Rachamim Rabim, Somef Noflim V'Rofeh Cholim, U'Matir Asurim, U'Mekayem Emunato L'Shenei Afar, Michamocha Bal Gevurot, U'Midom Melech, Melech Memit U'Mechayeh, U'Matzmiach Yeshua, V'Ne'eman Atah L'Achayot Meitim, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechayeh HaMeitim. We continue on page 30 and we continue silently to the end of the Amidah. Ihiu l'ratzon imrefi v'hegyon libi lefanecha Adonai tzuri v'gorli. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, O God, my rock and my redeemer. Ecclesiastes 3, which we know is it's a poem that talks about there's a time to be born and a time to die. It also has, I think, two really important parts where it says there's a time to keep silence. We've just had that moment of silence, time for our personal reflection, our personal prayers. And then it also says there's a time to speak, a time to share memories, time to reminisce, a time to remember. So Warren, I'd like to invite you onto the beamer for you to share, and then Jen, you'll join as well.
I think some of us have heard this obituary once before, but nevertheless, for those who weren't at the funeral and who've come here today, I'd like to share some of these memories with you. Mum was a third generation Australian, with the family originating from Romania, Lodz, Poland, Russia and the UK. She grew up in Elwood with her 4 siblings, Len, Joe, Dorry and Jack, all of who stayed in the family home, Mum being the only one to leave after she married. After finishing school, Mum worked in the retail in the city, and later after marriage, Mum worked in Dad's factory while she raised the 3 of us, 3 children, in the suburb of Elwood. The family loved spending time together and heading down to the beach for a swim, or we'd wander over to my Nana and Grandpa's home for lunch and to sit around the wood stove to warm ourselves as we talked. Mum was devoted to her late husband, our father Sam, as they were inseparable right up until the end of his life. From memory, they were just weeks away from their 70th wedding anniversary. The strength of their relationship helped them through the hard times and was inspiring to the whole family. We played Scrabble, rummy tiles, often into the evenings. Thursday evenings were special. We wrote letters. Mum was a great correspondent, sending letters to relatives and friends in Argentina, Canada, the USA and other parts of the world where we have large family representatives. She was a great baker, and you've heard the rabbi mention her famous scones and fruitcake, and today we had a sample of that. My niece Alison baked a fruitcake and using her recipe. When Mum was 99, she decided it was time to write her memoirs. As you get older, the task, of course, becomes greater, since there's much more to write about. So she picked up her pen with enthusiasm and began to write. And once she started, she couldn't stop. The project lasted for about a year and was a great stimulus for questions and discussions with family members as she probed her memories. Mum was a natural family geographer. She would set her mental energies to linking people, places, relationships and events. Just last week, Meryl read the entire memoir back to Mum, and they had, where they spent a very special afternoon reminiscing and laughing about those many fond memories that Mum had amassed in her 101 plus years. Right until the very end, she had so much joy to share with her family. In one of her earlier stories, she recounted an episode where, as a child of 3 or 4, she and a playmate had a play session on the metro train tracks behind their house. Spotted by the local milkman with only seconds to go, the children were snatched from the rails in front of an oncoming train. This story was written up in the Age newspaper. It's her first port of fame. However, at the other end of her life, Mum recalled being the model for Lucia, a young budding artist, who entered her portrait in the 100-year-olds portrait competition. The painting was executed with great skill and perception, and it won the prize and has hung in Mum's room since it was gifted to her. Mum was an enthusiastic creator of special handmade albums for each of her grandchildren so that she could share out the abundance of photographs that she'd collected over time. The creation of connections to the family was of great importance to her. Mum loved being visited by her family, her children, grandchildren, their partners, and of course the bubbly great-grandchildren who you've heard tonight, who always brought her great joy. She was in regular contact with her family living in the USA and more recently enjoyed a visit by her granddaughter, Karen, and great-granddaughter, Alyssa. The US side of the family kept in close contact with Mum through Skype, phone calls, letters, Facebook and emails. She loved to report all the wonderful things happening on the other side of the world to her Australian family to bring us closer to one another. To reach the age of 101 is a great milestone. We all feel very fortunate to have had our mother, grandmother and great-grandmother with us for so many years, and we are well aware that there are many people here today who have not been as fortunate. We'd like to thank our Dr. David Boscher, who never gave up on Mum, and the medical and nursing staff at Cabrini and Holmes Glen hospitals, and the nursing and support staff at Arcare Caulfield. And we'd like to thank everybody who's been here today, who came to the Minion. And we recognise that the Minion and funerals are as much for the living as to honour the departed. And we especially thank Nellie, who's here in the front row, who helped care for Mum for the past couple of years and who looked after her with such warmth and humour and gave Mum so much joy in the last years of her life. And on behalf of my sisters, Meryl, who's now the matriarch of the family, Rosalind in the United States, and myself, we thank our spouses, Robert, Leon and Vivian respectively, and Mum's grandchildren in Australia, Jen and Julian, Justin, Alison, Andrew and Rebecca, Michelle and Shannon and David and Kerr, and her beloved great-grandchildren, Indigo and Amichai, Sage, Jada, all who gave her so much love and enjoyment. She was much loved by our American family, Ros, Leon, Karen and Andy, Adrian, Greg, Stephen, Madeline and their children, Zach, Alyssa, Jaden, Jacob and Kyle. May her memory be a blessing.
In one of the last conversations I had with my Nana, I told her I was so grateful and thankful that she was such an amazing person and the best Nana ever. I don't know if she really took me seriously, but my grandma was so modest. She was humble, honest, loving, warm being with such an amazing positivity and outlook to life, and with a kindness soul, always full of encouragement and unconditional love. She was the rock of our family. I believe that she was not just a fabulous Nana, but an incredible woman. With her hip replacement at age 96, a broken leg which healed at 99, and various infections and pneumonia which she overcame over the past year, she was strong-willed, smiling, holding my hand to the end. She's a shining light in our hearts. Just on the weekend, she laughed heartedly at my twins who were doing a floss dance for her. They also wanted to share some words. Amichai said, I love pushing her around in a wheelchair and showing her photos on the iPhone. And Indigo said, I loved everything about her. She always smiled at me. I look up to my Nana's life in awe, and I aspire to be just like her. I love you so much, and I'll miss you so much. Thank you for your bright colours, your laughs, smiles, and encouragement. Thank you for your beautiful soul and love which you have shared. And thank you for sharing your life with us.
We're going to move into our memorial prayers. Year's core. We are on page 63. Birth is a beginning and death a destination, and life is a journey. From childhood to maturity and youth to age, from innocence to awareness and ignorance to knowing, from foolishness to discretion, and then perhaps to wisdom. From weakness to strength, or strength to weakness, and often back again. From health to sickness, and back we pray to health again. From offense to forgiveness, from loneliness to love, from joy to gratitude, from pain to compassion and grief to understanding, from fear to faith. From defeat to defeat to defeat, until looking backward or ahead, we see that victory lies not at some high place along the way, but in having made the journey stage by stage a sacred pilgrimage. Birth is a beginning and death a destination, but life is a journey from birth to death to life everlasting. Page 64, Psalm 23. Mizmor LeDavid, Adonai ro'i lo yachsa, benot deshe yabatzeni. Amem menachot yanhaleni nafshi yeshavev yancheni v'magle tzedek lama'an shemo. Gam ki elech begeit salmavet lo irara ki ata imadi. Shiftecha mishantecha hema yanachamuni. Taroch lefanai shulchan neged tzorai. Dishanta b'Hashem en rashi kosi revaya achtov v'chesed yodafuni. Kol yamei chayai v'shavti b'veit Adonai le'orech yamim. And on the facing page, Psalm 121. Esainai al harim me'ayin yavo Ezri me'im Adonai oseh shemayim va'aretz. I lift my eyes to the mountains, from where will my help come? My help comes from the Eternal One, maker of heaven and earth. God will not let your foot give way, your guardian will not slumber. See, the guardian of Israel neither slumbers nor sleeps. God is your protection. God is your guardian at your right hand. By day the sun will not strike you, nor the moon by night. God will guard you from all harm. God will guard your life. God will guard your going and coming, now and forevermore. And from the Israeli poet Zelda on page 67. L'chol ish yesh shem shenatan lo le'Elohim v'natnu lo aviv ve'imo. Each person has a name. We each have a name given by God and given by our father and mother. We each have a name given by our stature and smile and given by our attire. We each have a name given by the hills and given by the walls. We each have a name given by the stars and given by our friends. We each have a name given by our sins and given by our yearnings. We each have a name given by our enemies and given by love. We each have a name given by celebrations and given by our work. We each have a name given by the seasons and given by our blindness. We each have a name given by the sea and given by our death. Let us rise for Al Malei Rachamim on page 68. Al Malei Rachamim shochein b'mromim. Hamtzeinu chana tachat kanfei hashkina. Im kedushim utorim kozar harakia mazirim. Et nishmat Chana bat Avraham v'Leah. Shalcha le'olama Ba'ala rachamim yes lireha b'seite kanafav lo'olamim. V'yitzror b'tzorah hayim et nishmata. Adonai hu nachalata v'tanuach b'shalom al mishkavo v'nonar. Amen. To our loved one Chana bat Avraham v'Leah, who has entered eternity, grant clear and certain rest with you in the lofty heights of the sacred and pure, whose brightness shines like the very glow of heaven. Source of mercy, forever enfold her in the embrace of your wings. Secure Annie's soul in eternity. O God, she is yours. May she truly rest in peace, and we say, Amen. We turn forward to page 72 for Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabech l'adon hakol, l'atid g'dola le'otzei breshit, shehu noteh shamayim v'yosed haaretz, u'mashov yikaro b'shamayim imal, u'shinat zo b'gofei meromim, hu Eloheinu einod, v'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu. We continue silently. Shehu noteh shamayim. Al ken nekaveh lecha. V'nemar v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yiyeh Adonai echad u'shamo echad. We turn forward to Kaddish Yatom, the Mourner's Kaddish. We are on page 84. May the source of peace, send peace to you, Meryl, and Warren, and your sister Rosalind in America, and to all who mourn as part of your family in Zion, in Israel, and around the world. And we say, Amen. We wish you simchas. May we only see each other at times of joy and at times of happiness. And as I wish you not just a long life, but a good life. Friends, if I could ask you to please wait here while Meryl and Warren move out with their families to the entrance there, and then as you walk by, we can greet each other. Oh, there's also, sorry, I almost forgot. Everyone is invited now to the 4 Line Dock Road here in St Kilda East. You're welcome to leave your sidurim on the chairs. There is a menu here later again.